For more than 900 years, bridges have connected the people of London, not just across the river, but across communities. I'm Katie Wignall, and today we're at the London Archives to uncover the story of City Bridge Foundation, one of the oldest charities in London and custodian of the city's 5 iconic bridges. In 2023, City Bridge Foundation and Tower Bridge launched an impressive project to catalogue and conserve thousands of archival documents. This is an enormous project which stretches over 200 feet of archival containers and has documents dating back to the 12th century. The team here at the Archives have been working tirelessly to learn the story of City Bridge Foundation, and we're here to talk to some of them about it. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Katie.
So, can you tell me where all of this story begins?
Yes, so what is now known as City Bridge Foundation would have been known as Bridge House Estates. And roughly in the early 1100s, it would have been funding and supporting the maintenance of the early wooden medieval bridges that spanned where London Bridge is now. Unfortunately, that kept falling down or burning down. So by 1176, they decided to build a stone bridge. But this would have been really expensive to build and maintain for the period.
So where did they get the money from?
Well, once the bridge was built, they could charge tolls for its use or exact rents from the houses that were built upon it. But a large proportion of the money that went into building the bridge and maintaining it came from individual grants from Londoners.
So are these examples of donations to the bridge?
Yeah, so these are grants dating from the early sort of 13th century. So they're very, very old, and they've all got these beautiful seals which signify the sort of individual houses that are leaving property or money to Bridge House Estates. This one in particular is actually fascinating because it's a grant by a lady called Alice, who would have been a widow at the time. She's leaving property to Bridge House Estates, which the land that sat on is actually still under the care of City Bridge Foundation today.
But people don't still leave money to London Bridge today, do they?
No, they don't. Not anymore. City Bridge Foundation is funded using responsible investment and asset management, and there's no houses built on London Bridge anymore.
So this gives us a really good idea of what the old London Bridge looked like.
Yeah, you can see it's got loads of houses and property on it. There are churches even, and people not just sort of lived on the bridge, but they conducted business from the bridge as well. It was a very bustling sort of shopping district of London at the time.
So we talked about some of the objects in the medieval period, but how do we move through into the early modern?
Well, by the early modern period, so we're talking like the 15th century, things have developed. The population of London is starting to grow rapidly, so a lot more work is needing to be done to the bridge to keep it usable. And with all of this change, more administration is needed to manage all the money coming in and coming out to make repairs on the bridge. You've got things like this account book, so we've gone from the medieval account roll to something far more developed and something that looks more like modern bookkeeping. And you've got payments and allowances going out. But with that, you've got the clerk who's clearly got a bit bored and has done these charming illustrations for the first letter of each paragraph, which was quite common at the time, but these are particularly charming because they're not really related in any way to the content.
And these ones look much newer.
Yes, these are from the 19th century. These are minute books and cash books, but on the front you can see this logo, which is called the bridge mark, and this would have been used continuously since the early 17th century, and it's actually the oldest continuously used logo in the UK. It shows the visual continuity of City Bridge Foundation throughout the centuries.
For many years, London Bridge was the major crossing over the River Thames, even though it was rebuilt. I love this fabulous celebration from 1831. But what about more bridges for the City of London?
First came Blackfriars Bridge in 1769. There's been loads of iterations of Blackfriars bridges. It all gets quite confusing the later you get, but this was the first building of it, and you can see there's this temporary walkway so the workers can get it out into the middle of the bridge to finish the stone foundations.
Then what comes next?
And next you've got Southwark Bridge, lovely Victorian illustration of it here, and Southwark Bridge again has gone through all sorts of iterations, such as in the 1920s it had a tram line added to it, which was run by the London County Council, and they produced these beautiful posters advertising the new tram network.
Great, you still get that lovely view of St Paul's over the bridge. So we have some more bridges across the River Thames, but what about anything more east of London Bridge?
Yeah, so east of London Bridge was quite tricky at the time because ships wanted to try and get as far up the Thames as they could, which made building a river crossing quite difficult. Eventually Tower Bridge was built with its cantilever design, and that was designed by Horace Jones, the architect. And this is one of his earliest sketches that was initially approved by the House of Commons. You can see there are some differences to what was finally built.
Yeah, you can see as well how busy the river is. It's absolutely jam-packed with all of these boats.
Yeah, it would have been much busier than we're used to today.
And then we get Millennium Bridge.
Yeah.
Now this is totally different because it's just for pedestrians. It's like this blade of light over the River Thames. And are these from the official opening?
They are from the official opening. It didn't open to the public till a few months later. This is when Queen Elizabeth II did visit the bridge. You can still see it's slightly under construction here. And obviously when it did finally open to the public, there were some issues around it wobbling. They were solved. They produced all this literature about all the other bridges in London and the lineages of river crossings in London. So it was a really big event for bridges in general.
9 centuries, 5 bridges, 3 royal charters, over £840 million given in charitable grants, and a future built on connection, resilience and care. From its medieval beginnings to the modern city today, City Bridge Foundation continues to unite the city, one bridge at a time.